Your cat is reading your emotions right now. Here's the proof. Your cat just walked into the room, looked directly at you for 3 seconds, and left. You think it was random? It wasn't. In those 3 seconds, they collected more data about your emotional state than most humans would notice in an entire conversation. I'm James Mitchell, Feline Relationship Coach. My goal is to help you build a deeper bond of love and trust with your cat, one secret at a time. And right now, I'm about to show you something that will completely transform how you see every interaction with your feline companion. By the end of this video, you'll understand the hidden language your cat uses to decode your feelings, and more importantly, how to use that knowledge to create an unbreakable connection. But first, I need you to do something that helps thousands of other cat guardians discover this truth. Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon, because the algorithm only shows this content to people who engage. And there's a rescue parent out there who desperately needs to understand why their anxious cat won't come out from under the bed. There's someone watching whose senior cat just started acting different, and this information could help them spot the real issue. 2 seconds of your time could change their cat's entire life. Done? Perfect. Let's begin. The reality. Your cat is an emotional scanner. Here's something most people get wrong about cats. They think felines are independent, aloof, maybe even indifferent to human emotions. The truth is the exact opposite. Your cat is running a continuous scan of your emotional state every single moment you're in their presence. They're not just pets sharing your space. They're emotional detectives gathering evidence about your internal world through channels you didn't even know existed. Think about the last time you came home from a terrible day at work. Your shoulders were tight, your jaw was clenched. You probably didn't say anything different to your cat than usual, but somehow they knew. Maybe they kept their distance. Maybe they approached differently than normal. Maybe they did something they never usually do. That wasn't coincidence. That was data analysis in real time. Your cat watches the tiny changes in how you walk across the room. They track the exact pitch and rhythm of your voice, even when you're saying the same words you always say. They notice when your breathing pattern changes, when you sigh, when you pause before opening a door. To them, you're not just a person. You're a walking emotional broadcast, and they're constantly tuning in to your frequency. The foundation of your home becomes their laboratory. Every mood you experience creates a signal. Every emotional shift produces evidence. And cats, with their dual nature as both hunters and prey in the wild, have evolved to be absolutely masterful at reading these signals. Because in nature, failing to read the emotional state of another creature could mean the difference between survival and danger. The intelligence behind those eyes. Let me share something with you about a cat named Jasper and his owner, Elena. Elena works as an emergency dispatcher. Most days, she handles her stress pretty well. She comes home, feeds Jasper, and they have their evening routine. But during a particularly intense week where she took multiple traumatic calls, something shifted. Elena didn't consciously change her behavior with Jasper. She still fed him at the same time, still used the same words, still moved through the same routine. But Jasper responded completely differently. Instead of his usual enthusiastic greeting with chirps and figure eights around her legs, he approached slowly. He didn't ask for food right away, which was unprecedented. Instead, he pressed himself against her legs and stayed there, solid and warm, until Elena sat down on the floor. Only then did he climb into her lap and begin purring at a volume and duration that Elena had never experienced before. He stayed there, matching his breathing to hers, until her shoulders finally dropped and her jaw unclenched. The moment Elena's body relaxed, Jasper jumped down, walked to his food bowl, and looked back at her as if to say, "Now we can do the normal routine." This wasn't random behavior. This was a calculated response to specific emotional data. Jasper read the signs that Elena was operating in crisis mode, and he adjusted his entire approach to match what she needed in that moment, not what their routine dictated.
This is the level of emotional intelligence we're dealing with. Not mysticism, not magic. Pure, observable, repeatable pattern recognition that cats have refined over thousands of years.
Understanding their evolutionary advantage. Cats occupy a unique space in the animal kingdom. They're mesopredators, meaning they're both predator and prey depending on the situation. This dual role created incredible pressure to develop expert-level skills in reading body language, vocal tones, and environmental cues. A cat that couldn't accurately assess the mood and intentions of a larger predator wouldn't survive long enough to pass on their genes. A cat that couldn't read the subtle signs from prey would go hungry. That same skill set gets applied to you. In your living room, misreading your emotional state might mean unexpected loud noises, sudden movements, or changes in routine that feel threatening to a creature that thrives on predictability. So your cat treats your emotions like weather patterns. When you're calm and stable, they venture out into the open. When you're stressed or upset, they take shelter and observe from a safe distance. When you're in full storm mode, they find cover and wait for clear skies. Before we go further, do me a favor. If you're finding this valuable, drop a comment below telling me one thing your cat does that you now realize might be them reading your emotions. The algorithm loves comments, and it helps this video reach more cat lovers who need this information. Plus, I read every single comment and often create future content based on your experiences. So share your story down below. The science. How your cat actually reads you. Let's get specific about the mechanisms. I promised you science, not speculation, so here's exactly how your cat gathers emotional intelligence about you. Your facial expressions. Researchers conducted experiments where they presented cats with humans showing different facial expressions while keeping their words completely neutral. When the person had soft eyes, a relaxed jaw, and an open expression, cats approached faster, maintained closer proximity, and showed more slow blinks and elevated tail positions. Switch the same person to a tense face with narrowed eyes and a tight mouth, and the cats hesitated, detoured, or maintained greater distance. Your face operates as a traffic signal system for your cat. Green signals safety and invitation. Yellow means wait and assess. Red means maintain distance and observe. Your voice and tone. Here's something you can test right now. Say the exact same word to your cat in two different ways. First, use a soft, gentle, slightly higher-pitched tone. Then, say the same word in a flat, clipped, or sharp tone. Even though the word is identical, your cat will respond differently to each version. They're not processing your vocabulary. They're responding to the emotional music underneath your language. Your tone provides weather forecasts. Warm, gentle tones are clear skies that draw them forward. Harsh or tense tones are approaching storms that make them seek shelter. Your body language and movement. Smooth, open movements with balanced weight distribution read as safe and predictable. Choppy gestures, hunched shoulders, or forward-leaning posture feel unstable and potentially dangerous. Your cat isn't making moral judgments about your behavior. They're forecasting your next moves based on your physical presentation. If your body language suggests unpredictability, they create safety margins. Social referencing. This is where it gets truly fascinating. In laboratory settings, researchers presented cats with novel objects like strange boxes or unusual sounds. The cats would encounter the new element, then immediately look at their human guardian. If the person's face and voice remained calm and relaxed, the cat would investigate the object. If the person showed tension or concern, the cat would retreat and avoid the object entirely. You literally function as your cat's safety manual. They check your emotional reaction to determine how they should respond to uncertain situations. The daily evidence you've been missing. You've already seen this pattern play out dozens of times. You just didn't have the framework to recognize it. Remember when you were genuinely laughing at something funny, eyes crinkled, shoulders loose and relaxed? Your cat probably settled near you or even joined your space. Now compare that to times when you forced cheerfulness while feeling stressed underneath. Your cat likely chose distance despite your seemingly positive demeanor.
This is because cats value coherence over positivity. They can handle your sadness just fine. They struggle with mixed signals and emotional static. Let me tell you about Marcus and his cat Luna. Marcus works from home as a software developer. On regular workdays, Luna lounges on the desk corner, occasionally demanding attention during his breaks. But Marcus started noticing something peculiar. Every time he had video meetings with his manager, even before the call started, Luna would leave the room entirely. At first, Marcus thought it was random. Then, he started paying closer attention to his own physical state before those calls. He realized his shoulders would rise and stay elevated, his breathing would become shallow, his movements would become more abrupt and contained. Luna wasn't avoiding the video call itself. She was responding to Marcus's anticipatory stress that began several minutes before the meeting even started. She was reading micro changes in his physical presentation that he wasn't consciously aware of himself. Once Marcus recognized this pattern, he started doing 3 minutes of breathing exercises before manager meetings. Within 2 weeks, Luna stopped leaving the room. She had no reason to retreat anymore because Marcus's stress signature had diminished. This is the power of understanding what your cat is actually responding to. It allows you to modify not just your cat's behavior, but your own patterns that might be creating stress for both of you. If you're getting value from this deep dive, smash that like button. It genuinely helps this content reach more people who need it, and it tells me you want more detailed, science-based cat behavior content. It takes 1 second, makes a massive difference.
The chemical connection, emotional contagion. Now we move from observation to absorption. It's one thing for your cat to read your emotions. It's another level entirely when they begin to feel what you're feeling. Scientists call this emotional contagion, and it's the process where one individual's emotional state triggers a matching or similar state in another individual. Between you and your cat, this transfer happens constantly, often invisibly. Consider this scenario. You've experienced several weeks where everything feels off. Too many deadlines, not enough sleep, constant low-level anxiety. You're pacing more, sitting less, and sighing frequently. Then you notice your cat, who's normally playful and social in the evenings, is now spending those same hours tucked away under the bed. There's no medical issue, the environment hasn't changed, but their behavior has shifted dramatically. Research into stress hormones in cats reveals a clear connection. When a cat guardian's cortisol levels, the primary stress hormone, remain elevated for extended periods, their cat's cortisol levels often mirror that elevation. You're not just influencing their mood through your actions. You're literally tuning their internal chemistry through your sustained emotional state. The fascinating part is that this works in both directions. Have you ever experienced unexplained calm just from lying beside a purring cat? That's not purely psychological comfort. Studies demonstrate that the specific frequency of a cat's purr, typically between 25 and 50 Hz, can measurably lower blood pressure, reduce heart rate, and decrease muscle tension in humans. You're regulating each other's nervous systems without any conscious effort or verbal communication. The mechanisms of emotional transfer. Your cat monitors your breathing rhythm with remarkable precision. Fast, shallow breathing signals tension and potential danger. Slow, deep breathing signals calm and safety. They literally feel the weight and pace of your footsteps through vibrations in the floor. They sense the subtle fluctuations in your body temperature that occur when you're anxious versus when you're relaxed. Over weeks and months, they develop reflexive, almost subconscious alignment with your baseline emotional state. When you're genuinely calm, they're significantly more likely to sprawl in open, vulnerable positions. When you're keyed up and tense, they may hide, patrol the perimeter of your space, or position themselves in elevated locations where they can observe without engaging. This isn't behavioral problems. This is their nervous system echoing yours.
The long-term implications matter tremendously. Chronic stress in a cat guardian can directly contribute to behavior changes in their cats. Increased hiding, excessive grooming, appetite changes, litter box avoidance, and even aggression can all stem from absorbing their human's sustained emotional state. Think of it like emotional secondhand smoke. It seeps into their system regardless of your intentions. Share this video with another cat lover who needs to understand this connection. Use the share button below. Because once you understand this emotional loop, you can't unsee it, and that awareness becomes power you can use to transform your relationship with your cat. The hopeful side. Broadcasting calm. Here's the empowering truth. Just as your stress ripples into their nervous system, your peace settles into it as well. Cat guardians who intentionally create daily moments of genuine calm, like slow, gentle stroking, soft speaking, and quiet, consistent routines, consistently report that their cats become more confident, more affectionate, and more playful over extended periods. Let me share the story of Rachel and her cat Oliver. Rachel had a documented history of severe insomnia and late-night pacing. Oliver would shadow her during these restless hours, eyes wide and alert, tail twitching nervously, mirroring her agitation. When Rachel began working with a sleep therapist and started practicing 10 minutes of deep breathing exercises before bed, Oliver's behavior transformed. Within 3 weeks, he stopped pacing with her entirely. He began curling up on her chest as soon as she lay down. Both of them started sleeping better. Not because Oliver consciously decided to change his behavior, but because Rachel's calmer pre-sleep state gave him permission to relax. Her new baseline became his new baseline. This raises a critical question worth examining. What emotional state are you broadcasting to your cat without conscious awareness? If your days consist of rushed mornings, sharp movements, raised voices, and sustained tension, your cat may be carrying that same stress in their own small body. The reverse holds equal truth. Intentional moments of warmth, gentleness, and slowness don't just comfort you. They literally become part of your cat's baseline sense of safety.
Practical application. Building the unbreakable bond. Now that you understand your cat can read and even absorb your emotions, here's where the transformation happens. You can learn to respond in ways that strengthen the invisible thread connecting you. This isn't about training tricks or forcing affection. It's about creating an emotional environment so safe and consistent that your cat chooses you repeatedly. Start with simple presence. Cats exist in a world of subtlety. They value your availability more than your activity. Simply being in the same space, relaxed and non-demanding, communicates trust. If you're working at your desk, allow them to settle nearby without reaching for them every few minutes. Your stillness tells them, you can be yourself here. No performance required. Practice coherence. Your voice, body language, and actions should all match. If you want them close, keep your eyes soft, your tone warm, and your movement slow. If you need space, communicate that through gentle distance. Turn your body sideways, lower your energy. Avoid direct staring. Mixed signals confuse cats and make them less likely to approach next time. Consistency builds trust. Contradiction erodes it. Establish sacred rituals. Create moments that belong exclusively to you and your cat. It might be a slow blink exchange every morning. It could be a brief play session before dinner. Maybe it's sitting together near the window at sunset. These consistent moments function as emotional anchors, reinforcing that your presence is predictable and safe. In a cat's world, predictability equals love. Learn to mirror back. Just as they read your cues, make the effort to read theirs.
the angle of their ears, the movement of their tail, the depth and rhythm of their purr. Respond accordingly. Pause if their ears rotate sideways. Continue playing if their pupils stay dilated in excitement. This reciprocity communicates, "I see you as clearly as you see me." Before we continue, I want to hear from you in the comments. What's one change you're going to make after watching this video? Maybe it's adding a slow blink ritual. Maybe it's paying more attention to your own stress levels. Whatever it is, share it below. Your comment helps other viewers, helps the algorithm, and helps me create better content for this community. Advanced bonding, the power of calm presence. For moments of stress, whether yours or theirs, use intentional calm as your primary tool. Sit on the floor to reduce your height advantage. Breathe deeply and deliberately. Speak softly or not at all. Offer your hand palm down and allow them to decide whether to approach. When they do choose to come closer, resist every urge to smother them with affection. Instead, let the contact be entirely their choice, in pace and duration. Every single time you give them control over the interaction, you're building trust capital that pays enormous dividends when you need it most. During vet visits, during moves, during any disruption to their world, that accumulated trust becomes the foundation they rely on. Never underestimate the power of shared silence. Sometimes the most bonding thing you can possibly do is nothing. Just share space in a peaceful room, letting your breathing deepen, your energy settle, your mind quiet. This quiet companionship is where the bond deepens beyond words or gestures. It's where the relationship becomes partnership rather than ownership. The broader benefits. The benefits extend far beyond emotional connection. Strong emotional bonds with cats have been linked to measurable health outcomes for both species. Lower stress hormones, improved mood stability, better immune function, even longer lifespans. Your cat isn't just a pet, they're a partner in your well-being, and you're a partner in theirs. So treat this connection with genuine intention, protect it, feed it with patience, attention, and kindness. Because the more you nurture this emotional dialogue, the more your cat will not only understand you, they'll stand by you in ways no other relationship can replicate. Take a moment right now and try this experiment. Look at your cat wherever they are. Soften your face completely. Let your eyes half close. Give them the slowest blink you can manage. Keep your body still and relaxed. Watch what happens. You might see a head tilt, an ear swivel, a tiny tail tip flick. You might even receive a slow blink in return. That's not random. You just sent the feline equivalent of, "It's safe. I'm okay. You can be okay too." And they answered.
The daily practice. Moving forward, start noticing the small details. When your throat tightens and your chest feels heavy, watch how quickly they appear, silent as a whisper, resting near your elbow. When you're irritable and rushed, notice how they maintain cautious distance, observing from doorways, like a lifeguard who doesn't want to embarrass you in front of others. This isn't you projecting meaning onto your cat. This is your cat projecting attention onto you. Their follow behavior isn't clinginess, it's caretaking. It's your cat running perimeter checks on you, making sure you're okay. And notice how selective it is. Cats aren't people pleasers. They're truth detectors. They know when your "I'm fine" is a polished lie wrapped around raw truth. They skip the performance entirely and respond to the signal underneath. That's why they seem aloof with guests, but laser-focused on you when it genuinely matters. It's not rudeness, it's signal-to-noise ratio optimization. The small tests you can run. Try these micro-experiments in your own home. Tonight, in the same room as your cat, Release one of those heavy end-of-day sighs. Don't look at them. Don't say anything. Just notice. Do you hear a pause in their movement? A repositioning? See an ear rotate toward you? Feel their presence move closer to your legs? These are small changes, yes, but consistent ones. Cats don't write you long letters. They edit the margins of your life. This is why ignoring a cat often works better than fussing over them when you're trying to build trust. Your cat isn't scoring you on effort. They're measuring coherence. Does your behavior match your mood? Are you predictable? Do you respect their space when their ears go sideways? When your energy is clean and honest, you become legible. Legible equals safe. Safe equals lovable in cat language. The gift you're already receiving. Remember this truth. Your cat doesn't need you to be perfect. They need you to be legible, consistent, and honest in what you feel. That's the language they read best. That's the language they'll always answer. The benefits run both ways. When your cat's quiet companionship brings your heart rate down a few beats, you become a softer ecosystem for them to inhabit. Your steadier breath, your calmer hands, your stable routines, these are the invisible gifts that keep your cat's world organized. They're not just reading you, they're living through you. So yes, your cat is paying attention in ways that go deeper than you probably realized, through channels you may never have considered. Keep watching for these patterns. Keep testing these principles. Keep sending those slow blinks as if you were placing tiny lanterns along a nighttime path. Final thoughts and next steps. Your cat reads your emotional data and makes decisions constantly. Stay close or keep distance. Offer contact or stand guard from across the room. And here's the twist worth holding on to. In subtle, measurable ways, they're not just reading your emotions, they're actually feeling them with you. That understanding changes how you can handle every difficult day from now on. This is James Mitchell with Cat Senses Advice, reminding you that the more we learn their language, the richer every moment with them becomes. If this opened your eyes to the quiet,